It's time. Hello everybody, welcome to the Oh, the game isn't loaded properly. Come on OBS, there we go. Welcome to the Insanity Challenge. Let's go through the starter equipment real quick again. I know I did it in the video today, but tractors are the same. This area is the same. I did swap out the windrower and tether for the hay bobs to make it a bit harder for myself. Yeah, everything in there is the same. I also swapped out the, well, I got a sprayer in. I actually had a different sprayer, but I got this one in. This is the Osso one. Got a teeny tiny corn seeder because I'm going to need that. Hey, CD. I've got slurry spreader for when the cows produce slurry, and a major muck out for when we get manure together. And here's our seeder. It's a Hassia. There's also over the far side of the map, by the sheep, a Profi hopper because I kind of didn't realize the cow feed wouldn't work for sheep. I didn't realize that. I tested it just before the stream, and yeah, it doesn't work. So let's get started on work. We're gonna actually have to get... I guess we don't have to, but we're gonna get courseplay running almost immediately. And we're gonna get courseplay running on the 135, which is gonna be plowing, because we got a lot that I need to do today. There's a lot that needs to be done straight off the bat. 135 is off to do some plowing. These machines are way too small. I know, Benji. That's why the challenge is Insanity. Did I finish Sandy Bay challenge? No, that'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to alternate days between this and Sandy Bay. I want this to be on a fieldwork course. Do I own this field? Yes. No, I don't own field 16, do I? No, this is field 14. Okay, field 14. Starting location here. Headland 15. After the fact. Bypass circle. Generate. And tiny plow. Will be the course name. We'll save this into... Oh my god. We'll save this into... field 14. As a full... No, I've saved that as a course, haven't I? Field 14 as a folder. Save that in there. We'll get this guy going from the from the first waypoint. And I might need to manage offset actually. How do tool offset horizontal? No, actually, that should be fine. So let's get that on the go. This is quite possibly the dumbest challenge anybody's ever come up with for Farm Sim. So that's that on the go. I should actually verify tabbing into vehicles is disabled. Muscles mode, money cheat are both disabled. Walking speed is set to 1. Off we go to get another tractor. So that's all the little verifications that I feel are necessary. We've already spent $9 or €9. Was I feeling okay? I made this challenge over the course of a few days, so yes. I can't move that because it's too heavy. So our next job is gonna be rolling. I think is gonna be the next decent job that we can do. We'll do that in the 240. So away, away we go. Did I change the sound volume again? I didn't, but it sounds very quiet. Hello, hello everybody. Oh boy. We've got some rolling to do, and it pretty much has to be done today. Here's hoping the 240 can pull the roller. It can. We're off to a good start. Oh boy. So we're going to start off in field 6, which is the one that I bought just to add a bit more grass, because I wasn't too sure if this was possible. How am I today? Terrified is a good word, Fabio. I don't know if this challenge is playable. I genuinely don't know. We're going to find out as we go along here. I maybe shouldn't be using course play. What I can tell you guys is the money rule where if you go negative it's game over. That does not apply until early spring hits again. You're wondering how Dave thought this up. Very easily actually, Farming Man. I just decided that it'd be kind of interesting as an experiment, and this is basically an experiment, to see how stupid I could get with rules. The Sandy Bay challenge I'm really enjoying, and I figured, well, what happens if I turn that challenge up to 11 or 12? And this is the result. So I do actually want to, or need to, feed the animals as well today. I don't know if we'll get around to that. But that's another thing that needs to be done. 27 degrees, you're dying. I feel for you, Eddie Boo. I turned it up to 25. I mean, quite possibly. This should be the grass up to full fertilization immediately, in theory. Let's just get the... Yes, it is. Now I see the logic behind the magic full fertilization. Because he did tell me it's intended as a seasons thing. Yeah, the rules are in the description too, or should be. So we've got a lot that needs to get done today, on day 1. We need to realistically, I guess in an unrealistic manner, using a 240 to pull this, but we need to try to get all the rolling done. We need to get as much plowing done as we can, because the seeds need to go into the ground ASAP. We need to feed the animals, and we need to give the animals water. Now, I don't know how much of that will get done today. It was Seasons that raised the loan. I thought so. Hello, Agrimen. I don't know how much of the work we need to do today that will get done today. It definitely... Like, I need to get all the plowing done this in-game day. Really need to get it all done this in-game day. Gotta go see you, Adiboo. Speed on going is so unrealistic. I need to go faster than this to get everything done, so... Realism isn't the point of this challenge. The challenge is to get Farm Sim up to maximum difficulty, which hilariously is unrealistically difficult. Especially with the hired workers. They cost so damn much. Like, we've already spent 150 on a hired worker in less than 10 minutes. Keep in mind that we're only allowed to work up until 5 PM in game, which raises the stakes a bit more. Hello, River Johnson. If I got all the prep work done before 9 AM, I could have started by feeding the animals, but I didn't, and I didn't even get it done by 9:30. So we're kind of on a struggle bus immediately. Never mind the fact that I can't use GPS mod with any of the tractors I've got. Just letting me know. I'm fully aware that the speeds I'll do almost everything at in this save will be unrealistic, but like the point isn't realism, it's difficulty. Because this equipment, I will openly admit, is not even a bit too small for this map. It is stupidly small for this map. Would it be cheating to use 2 of those plows? I would say yes at the beginning. Once you get the loan paid off, you know, it opens up more equipment. Because I know I didn't specify amounts of anything, but the intention was like 1 plow, 1 fertilizer spreader, 1 of everything. Which is what I've given myself, because obviously having created the rules, I know what the intention was. Plus, the difficulty comes from the equipment sizes. It's not necessarily the rules that make things difficult, it's the size of equipment that I'm forcing you to start with. Because you look at West Coast by default and it's got quite large equipment. Would I like to visit your dad's farm? Where is it, Agriman? Because cost would be a factor in pretty much everything. Imagine this channel in Jungle Oakfield. That would be unplayable. It would actually be unplayable on Oakfield. I think it's barely playable on the West Coast. I think it might be just about playable. However, I may need to stop using Courseplay because I'm just looking... Oh! Something that I completely forgot to do. Oh, never mind. Seasons turned that all off. Pure Clang. Yes, that's all good. That's all good. Perfect. Ireland. Yes, but where in Ireland? Like, what county? You don't need to say a town, but, like, what county? Because... I'm kind of locked to the bus and train system here. Dog sat next to you watching me. Very nice, Michael. Oh, if you enjoy the stupidity I've managed to unleash upon the world with this challenge, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Hello, Clive. So with this challenge, we will, obviously with seasons as well, we will be doing a lot of repeated work. So there will be a lot of planning needs to be done. I will try and do some of it manually. Or I'll probably have to do some of it manually. You know, I need to cut down near Dublin. Yeah, that's not cheap to get to. Dublin ain't cheap to get to. You can use any map. I'm not ending Sandy Bay Challenge. Sandy Bay Challenge is going to continue. I just figured I'd start this challenge as well to have 2 different maps on the channel, 2 different challenges, 2 different styles of things. Is the roller mod hub? No, it's on FSUK. It is only available on PC. Which county am I? Tipperary. I went to Dublin, was it last week or the week before, to see Deadpool 2, and well, this doesn't sound like a lot, it is for me. It was a €28 return ticket. So, not exactly cheap. But I'm making not much more than that per month on YouTube. Any map suggestions? A good map. I'd honestly suggest like the West Coast, Colbra, maybe Oakfield, although it might be unplayable on Oakfield. Sandy Bay would probably be a good map for this as well. Nice try, Kaysen. Ever been to Tip Golf Club? I have not. I wasn't even aware there was one in Tip Town. Hello, Teddy38. I will say, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, this may be the most difficult challenge ever attempted in Farm Sim. What map is this? This is the West Coast. Where I've bought Field 6 as an addition to the starter fields. Mainly because I was afraid, and I'll be honest, I was afraid there wasn't enough grass to completely feed the animals. Hello, Mossy and Glen Agri. Is Lanley streaming tonight? I have no idea. If he comes in, you can ask him yourself. You live in Tipperary? So do I. Best county. Hello, Jack. Where can you find the rules? Exclamation mark insanity in chat, and they're also in the description. Or should be, unless Google's blocked it for some reason. Which it shouldn't have, because I used a Google link shortener. Skidding with the roller, yeah, it's fine. I think the hunt for gold nuggets would be great for this challenge. It would be, but I have no interest in the gold nuggets. Does it have to be starting fields? You can use whatever field combination you like. Like, I'm not gonna lock you into just using the starter fields. Obviously, I bought field 6 here to get more grassland so that there's more room for silage and whatnot. Pay for the train tickets? No, I agree, man. I wouldn't even ask for people to do that. I should also mention, this isn't, at least I don't think it is, my edit of the West Coast. So, the telephone poles probably have full collisions. You chop down a tree in a field, does that mean the challenge has begun? Well, blurred, no forestry, dude. That's forestry. You've already lost. You've already broken the rules. Time to start out doing missions. Thing is, that would actually probably be easier, because the missions I find pay hilariously huge amounts, and almost all the equipment you get in missions has GPS. 400 firewood, like well play. It's still forestry work, dude. Do you play any other games? I play plenty of other games. Do people watch those other games? No. Because just yesterday I put up a video of Factorio on the channel. Granted, it's an hour long, but you're a massive... I mean, I'd like to visit a farm, but like, I know a few farmers and a few family members have farms, so they'd probably be easier to sort out getting onto, because number one, family members. Makes it a bit easier. Number two, I'd be able to be driven up because my parents could make it an excuse to visit that family member for a day. Chili Heatwave Doritos. I hate you, Glengar. I want some now. Clutch Line snapped the other day when you were doing 50k. That's not fun. I should put a link for the mods. I was actually thinking about that, Fabio. Yeah, I will get a mod list together for the Insanity series. What's the max horsepower of the tractors? There's no limit on your max horsepower at all in the challenge. However, my max horsepower at the moment is 80. 80. And every piece of equipment, I should mention this, every piece of equipment I have can be run by the tractors I have. Every piece of equipment I have attempted at least to make sure that I could run everything I own equipment wise with the tractors I have. Now bear in mind, this is going to be the equipment 800? No, 80. 80. You want to see me plowing and drilling then? Well, in real life or like... Because... the one that'll be easiest for me to get to, well, they're both actually suckler farms, so there's no real crop growth. They buy in food. Because it's, number one, better for the animals, and number two, a bit easier. Farm sim with an 80 horsepower tractor. The 135 is currently off plowing, Blurred. I'd tab over to it, except I'm not allowed to tab. But it is in field 14 currently plowing it up with a 3-furrow plow. 8,000 horsepower. I seem to... I've noticed this. I seem to swing from different ways of doing Insanity on the channel. Where sometimes I'll just use stupid equipment that's way too big for stuff. And then sometimes I'll do really dumb stuff like this, where I'll bring insanely tiny equipment onto a map and say, hey, let's play this for a while. Is Big Bud the most powerful tractor in Farm Sim? Excluding mods, because... you know, mods tend to have wonky horsepowers at best. Well, no, they have really bad horsepowers at worst. I've seen a John Deere Model A with 1,000 horsepower before, in-game. Excluding mods, I think it's between the Big Bud and the Quad Track for the most powerful tractor in the game. So we're actually doing really well on Field 6 so far. This is going better than anticipated, which I must admit is yeah, positive news. However, we do still need to get over to Field 30, and we do still need to get over to Field 81, and we need to roll those too. So it's not all good news. Big Bud is the most powerful tractor in the world in terms of horsepower. Fair enough. But does it have VTEC? That is the real question. Does it have VTEC? For that extra 7 horsepower at the end. Do I like John Deere? I'm kind of neutral on John Deere. I don't like their marketing strategy of, well, it's John Deere, you should like it. I don't like how overpriced John Deere's seem to be. And I don't like... and don't take this personally if you are a John Deere fan. I don't like the fanboyism around John Deere. Like, it irritates me that people always ask for John Deere tractors and never any other brand. Because I personally like Massey Ferguson, JCB, New Holland, case, and I'm more neutral on John Deere. But every time I'm asked to use the tractor, it's a John Deere. And yes, Class is amazing. I love Class. Why can't you do forestry for winter firewood with stove mod for roleplay purposes? The simple answer is that if I allowed forestry, with seasons you would just end up spending the entire winter chopping down trees and making a butt ton of money. The aim of the challenge is to make it difficult, so not allowing forestry means you can't just do what I usually do with seasons, which is spend the winter chopping down trees. Can I use class tractors and harvesters more? I actually plan to in this series once we get over the 300,000 threshold and start getting more better vehicles in. You didn't do that just for roleplay. I'm still gonna say no because, again, like, I find that the tree prices are a bit high. Like the price you get for wood is very high and unrealistically so. So, you know, I'm still gonna say no, just because it's too easy to make money like that. You have sheep in the challenge. Well, you're supposed to have sheep. Like it's 10 of every animal. I don't know what we're gonna do with the sheep though. You get money. Yeah, you get money for doing anything with wood. They sell for like 30 quid. Okay, let me add some realism here. We buy right here a ton of wood at a time for firewood. For that, I think we spend about €100, something like that. Welker, yeah, Welker is not a map that will be good, or very playable. It'll be very well done, but not very playable. It's just a dull area, unfortunately. What's the top 5 things I'd like to see in FS19? That is a question and a half. Number 1, FS13 traffic coming back. That, yes. Number 2, orchard farming. And just like, you know, different styles of farming in general, I guess. So the squad's first episode, damn, that dude has so much energy. I'll be honest, I have no real interest in the Welker map, because I've looked at the area in Google Maps and it just does not look... It doesn't grab me. And I don't see how it being a map in Farm Sim would do that. So you got what? FS13 traffic... different styles of farming. I'm gonna expand orchard to just different styles of farming. Better hired workers would be kind of number 3, although number 1 would be great. The ability to strap down vehicles would be amazing. So that'd be kind of number 4. Number 5 would be... And here's one that'll kind of be a bit left field. More old stuff. More old tractors. More small, old... kind of... maybe not rusted out necessarily, because giants might not be allowed to do that. But more old tractors. More stuff from the 70s, 80s, 90s. Maybe even earlier, you know, 50s and 60s, where they're borderline useless in a modern farm, but if giants got equipment to pair up with it, then I would absolutely be in my element. I would love that. Like, even some of the equipment I'm using on this map, the hay bobs in particular, are from the 80s. But I'm pairing up with, you know, much older tractors. The 135 is from the late 50s? 50s or 60s? Proper breeding system, yeah, that'd be nice too. Should be able to buy second-hand tractors. The thing is that can be abused so much. in-game. Like, there'd have to be a downside to buying second-hand, like there is in reality. Like, the downside in reality is there is already wear and tear when you get a second-hand piece of equipment. And yeah, Dave, that's exactly why, like, it's a pipe dream of mine. It's not gonna happen. The brands don't want stuff they're no longer making to be in the game, realistically, so they're not gonna give you stuff from the 60s up till the 90s, as much as I'd love it. And, you know, it's just not a thing. Much higher maintenance prices. I mean, I guess, but then you'd have to have a much more robust maintenance system in the game. Like New Holland's, yes. This is coming from somebody who, like, openly thinks Giants have done really well with the tractor choices you have at the start of Farm Sim now, or in the base game. I think they've got a really nice mix of definitely around the gold, kind of the 100, the 1 to 200 horsepower range. Giants have absolutely nailed it with like a ridiculous variety of tractors in that horsepower band range, power band range band power. I think Giants have really nailed it there, but I feel like there's more work they could do to, you know, under the 100 horsepower and age-wise. I feel like that could be improved. Happy Memorial Day, yes, that's a thing in America, isn't it? It's not a thing pretty much anywhere else. You buy 10 bales for the sheep. I mean, you could. I'm not going to. I'm going to just kind of wait. And if, by the way, if sheep die before I can get grass to them and get water to them, I will just cheat money in and get the number back up to 10. Because this was an unforeseen thing. I thought that the cow feed would work for the sheep. Orchard farming for sure. How many times have we said? Yeah. Better hired workers needs to be a thing. Like a more robust, better hired worker system. Something in GE that'd be nice would be a better way of doing field defs. Whether it's the same way they do currently the nav meshes for the animals, which would be fine, or we'll say the same way they do texture painting, which would also be fine. There's a lot of ways the Giants could improve field defs. And actually GE in general, there's a lot of stuff that I feel, and a lot of people who make maps and stuff feel could be optimized, like more textures per block. Currently it's allowed, you're allowed 4, which results in some really weird compromises. You should be able to sell the work from the yard. You can do that with Courseplay if you really want to. Courseplay like workers would be great. Yeah, but again, that would involve possibly a lot of work from map makers then. A lot of added work on the map maker side that might, well, it would, I'm not saying, not even going to say might, that would definitely increase the barrier to entry for new map makers, because you've then got to learn how to set up the worker splines for every field. Because it would be spline based, that much I am sure of. You'd have to use GPS in the challenge. Yes, but only in tractors that would realistically have it as an option from the dealership. So stuff from the 70s and 80s would definitely be out. Late 90s. I'm trying to remember in my head when the GPS system was launched publicly. I think it was 98-ish. Where did I get my version of Courseplay? From the GitHub. This is the, not the latest version, but it's one of the better, newer versions. It's I'm only going to read the last 3 numbers. 073 dev. I'm sure it's out of date now. So the equipment I've got new, yes, and I would encourage you to start off with old equipment. Because the aim of the challenge is for it to be difficult, and using brand new stuff with GPS constantly, that kind of removes the difficulty barrier. Or reduces it. That's why I'm using stuff that is gone to the extremes of small. This is, you know, these are some of the smallest tractors I've got in the game. I could probably find smaller, less powerful tractors, but these can work with these can do some equipment work. Any tractor made 2000 or later above 450 horse will have GPS. There you go. A small equipment like a 1455. That's huge. You can use AB lines on most tractors. Yes, you can. But the way GPS mod works is it's full-on GPS. That's what it's advertised as, so I'm kind of counting it as a full-on GPS system. You Google the GitHub, it's V5. Yeah, 5.02.00073 dev. A56XL. I enjoy the fact that people are just going to name tractors that are hilariously bigger than what I've got. Because like my biggest tractor is it an International 844? And that thing only has 80 horsepower, 80 tractors. Do I like old tractors? Yes. That's why I'm doing the challenge the way that I'm doing it. Can you do the same in G like in favor? You don't have to add a GPS module to it, but if it's an old tractor, you cannot use GPS. Yellow and I. Is this now just the tractor naming stream? Is that what we're doing now? So how's the 135 doing? Let's have a look. It's actually surprisingly far into the field already. So what field is here we go? Field 30, which is... okay, that's that field there. What international do I have again? 844. I can't tab over to it, but I can show you here. In fact, I can tab over to it real quick. A little bit of cheating, but this is... showing stuff off is fine as long as I don't use stuff by tabbing over to it. Is the 844 so get the 845S with the cap? No! You know, see, you're thinking about making challenge rules for my two challenges combined. This pretty much has all the Sandy Bay rules as far as I'm aware. It's just I've notched. Yes, I've taken them up a level, made it more difficult than it maybe than is possible in the game. I don't know. I have not tested this at all. Something that would be realistic is no map unless interact with GPS, except that you'd probably have a paper map if you're getting a bit lost, like I tend to. So that's why I'm allowing myself to use the mini map. I'm kind of in these tractors regarding it as a paper map that I've drawn out by hand or something. Dave can't speak English today. That's nothing new. John Deere 7810 has 185 horsepower. Good for the John Deere 7810. Would I use gearbox? No, I don't like it. That's 100% just a personal preference thing. It's not a mod I get on with very well. Or Google Maps on your phone. I mean, yeah, you could do that too. You could say it's Google Maps on your phone. Now the fun's going to come in when it comes to working these fields properly, because the first cut I am going to do just silage, because I'm going to need silage, I'm going to need hay. So the first cut's going to be silage, second cut's going to be hay, and then third cut is possibly going to be kind of a mix of both. I'll make a judgment call when I get the bales together to see which one I want more of. What animals am I using in this challenge? All of them. Pigs, sheep, cows, all of them. And I'm going to have to feed them with food I have made myself. So, no buying feed at the store. Apart from the original 10 pallets, well, big bags that you start with. And the starter food is literally just to get you through the first... until the first harvest, or as close as you can get. You don't need to feed the animals 100%, you just need to keep them alive. Once you get the first harvest in, then you can start getting up to 100%. Now you see why it's got its name. Yeah, I've made this game incredibly difficult, and I'm not allowed to, well, I'm not allowed to until I get the loan paid off, which the loan currently sits at €300,000. I'm not allowed to buy things at all. No new fields, no new equipment, no new tractors. Until that loan's paid off, this is what I'm using. This is everything. This is my lot. This is the farm until 300k. Once 300k hits and the loan's gone, then we can start thinking about, okay, what do I want to swap out for what, and let's get things going a bit bigger and a bit better, and a bit newer. But until then, we're stuck with what we got. If only there's a pig feed mixture. You can use that. There's no rule against it. I think I went a bit too realistic in this one. Weren't you complaining? Was it you yesterday who were complaining about realism? Somebody was complaining about realism yesterday. And yeah, now I've kind of gone with hilariously unrealistic rules, by the way, because most farms operate in debt. Can't help but think challenges will burn out quickly. Yeah, possibly, but I'm gonna keep it up and just see how it does. You love roleplay too. Speaking of that, I need to get off-camera work done for that series. I've been very lazy lately. Gotta go see a farmer man. I can't help but feel that, yeah, this series, this challenge is gonna burn out real quick. Whether it's through lack of interest or me mismanaging the damn thing into the ground, but I'm not gonna pretend like I think this is gonna be a super long, this will go forever kind of series. No hunting cap on it. Well, that's what I'm doing on the Cobra series, except the Cobra series is hilariously cheaty. Like, you don't see even half the cheats that I do. Hello, James D. How's everyone? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Mainly down to equipment side. That's why I've allowed course play. I mean, there's so much that needs to get done that I can realistically have all three tractors out in the field at the same time. And I'm going to need to. I'm going to need to have like one tractor cultivating, one tractor plowing, and one tractor seeding. But today's work is basically just kind of getting the map, getting the grass ready, and hopefully, if we've got time, which we may well do actually, getting the animals fed. How many fields am I planting cereals in? How many fields do I have that are cereal crops? 3. 10, 14, 15. So I'll actually Oh, all 3 fields must have... Oh, the fields have to have specific crops in. Because I got 3 crops that I need to grow for the sheep. Or for the pigs. So one's going to have potatoes. Oh, that's going to be fun. One's going to have corn. And one's going to have wheat or barley. And I've just realised I forgot to get a corn header for the combine. I'm going to have to cheat money in for that, because that's an oversight on my part. That should have been done during setup. If you forget something during setup, like that, cheating money in is... I'm going to say it's allowed, because otherwise the game actually becomes unplayable. Or the challenge becomes unplayable. Dizzy Druid doesn't know what I do normally. But I'm going to have to use... Actually, I'll do it right quick now. Shift G, not Caps G. Money cheat on, and we'll get a... No, not a Forage Harvester header. I need a Combine header. We'll get this in... Yeah, red will do. Just buy that. That's that sorted. Okay, we're good now. Money cheat back off. That's everything locked in now. What's the challenge? Basically, everything's locked in as tight as it can get in terms of rules, and you have to do farming. You're not allowed to do forestry. You got to do all the animals. You think it's going to be doable? I think it should be. But the courseplay costs are slightly concerning. I'm not going to pretend like the courseplay cost isn't concerning. Should go longer for summertime. I should, but I feel like 9 to 5 is kind of a good middle ground. Like, it's a general work day. I know farmers work longer and work much harder, but 9 to 5 is a general job, general work day, so that's why I've limited the hours like that. I have no idea how I'm going to get anything done on this map. Because we still have one more field to roll, and then we're on to feeding the animals. Can you fast time? I'm going to be using the skip night feature in seasons. But yeah, you can fast time through the night. When you're not able to work, obviously you can fast time. It would be unfair to say no, you can't fast time ever. Not quite like real life. Yeah, but I've said this so many times already during the stream. The challenge isn't to be realistic. That's not the intention. The challenge is to be hard. Like, realism, yeah, that's great. That's difficult in itself. But I've gone one step further. Like, I've gone unrealistically difficult in terms of field working hours. Because I find that the working speeds in Farm Sim are much higher than in real life anyway, so limiting the hours the way that I've done, I think balances that to where you'd probably get the same amount of work done in Farm Sim as you can in real life in any given day. Now the fun will come when I start harvesting or when it starts getting up near 5 PM in game, because that's then going to be the point where I'm going to have to stop at 5 PM in game. Now I might go to 5:01 some in game days, I might go to 4:59 some in game days. It'll be basically as soon as I realize or you guys tell me that it's 5 PM, work stops. There is no getting around that. And as soon as it hits 9 AM, work starts again. Now I can be sat in the tractor waiting for 9 AM. With time acceleration on, just sat there waiting, engine off. As soon as the clock hits 9 AM, engine goes on, tractor gets going. The obvious exception is animal feeding because, well, animal care in general, so you can muck out and do stuff like that at night. Just because seasons is a bit annoying in the wintertime with that kind of stuff. I'm really concerned that I might not have enough crop fields now. Now that I've realised that they're going to have to be locked into one crop each. That's, yeah, a genuine concern. You're going to use power last night, took off across the field 20 miles an hour, you're expecting more like 5. In game or in real life, Dave? Because, like, I always find that talking to people about realism in farm sim is enlightening. Because a lot of the working speeds in farm sim are way higher than what you do in real life, especially baling. Like one lonely farmer, I think he bales quite quickly at 6 miles an hour. And like, that's nothing compared to what you can do in farm sim. Even though at the beginning, spoiler alert, I'm only going to be able to use round bales. In game, yeah. Like, I've only got a round baler at the moment, so it's all going to be round bales for probably quite a while, actually. I may already be regretting doing this, but it's the most difficult challenge in farm sim, possibly farm sim history. And I'm going to soldier on. You're drawing grass last Saturday up until 2:30. Big pack grown bear even bailing at 30k in real life. What have you been bailing though? You believe in me. Thank you. I'm not regretting it in terms of like nobody's gonna watch. I'm regretting it in terms of, oh my god, this is going to be painful. But if I can get all the rolling done today, that's the grassland sorted until late spring. That's it, sorted. 42 subs until 8k. Yeah, I figured straw. As far as I'm aware, straw bales quite easily though. Like OLF bales hay, which likes jamming up in things because it's a lot smaller than straw, a lot more flexible. You know, I could mix crops, Ernie. Ernie, you're a genius. That is actually a really good idea. I could put 2 crops in one field. I don't have any rule against that, and in fact that'd probably be the best way to get the potatoes sorted, because I don't want to do an entire field of potatoes. I want to do like 2 strips. 2-3 strips. Should be enough in like field... Yeah, in field 10 if I do like 2 strips of potatoes down one side. That'll be enough for the pigs, probably for the entire winter. Although I might do like up to 5. What is chicken on biscuits? What? So, what's the fastest way to field 81 from here? It looks like it's going to be... there's no real faster way. Field 10. Field 10's already split in half, isn't it? Yes. I'll just do the top of the field and potatoes. So, Bucko, thank you. So this bit of the field here is going to be potatoes. This bit over here is going to be like wheat or barley or something. field 15 can be corn because of the smaller remaining field, and field 14 can be wheat, barley. Could do sugar beet. I could, but I think the armor salmon requires a lot more horsepower. Like the potato harvester I've got has a requirement of only 50. Or is it 35 or something? No, that's not what I wanted. P. Potato harvester I've got, yeah, 30 horsepower will run this potato harvester. 15 will run the topper. So, like, I could run the harvester with the 135. Hello, James. It's definitely not as low horsepower as the potato harvester I've got. So the reason I've set the sub goal to 8,000, by the way, is number one, that's realistically the goal right now. And number two, it's a lot easier than changing the sub goal nearly daily. You know, see that old spot equipment working? So do I. I found it on, I think it was Modhoster. And I thought it was really interesting looking, so I gave it a download. It's not the greatest quality mod ever. I'm not going to pretend like it's the greatest quality mod ever. I'm not going to pretend like it's a good quality mod. But it's interesting, it's different, and it's not what I'd usually use. So I'm quite happy to give that a run out. We all happy at this driving at 10 miles an hour lark that I'm doing right now? Armor needs 100. That's more power than well, it's less power than all three of my tractors combined, but more power than, I think, the two most powerful combined. You saw it in this morning's video and you've been looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to using it. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really fun to try. 40 likes already? Let's get up to 50, guys. Come on, hit the like button. Get those likes up. This might have been the slower way, but oh well. Go YouTube, yeah. I take it you've all heard of the controversy about the way YouTube are considering. Oh, I need to turn traffic on. I had it off while I was setting up because I was kind of going around with a big truck and then realized I could just reset everything to the yard. So I'm definitely, I think, using some of the smallest equipment currently in use on YouTube. Whereas Dagger, what I saw this morning, is using a hilariously huge harvester with like a 90-foot header. I enjoy the fact that I've suddenly become the new version of Daggerwin with the tiny equipment. What did YouTube do this time? They're thinking of changing the way the sub box works so that it's like stuff you're most likely to watch. Which, no. You subscribe to a channel because you want to watch its videos. You don't subscribe to a channel because you want to maybe, perhaps one day watch a video from it again. Yeah, this is the way I want to be going. This may in fact have been the slower way, and I apologize. He's stuck for content. Honestly, James, and I'll be honest, and this isn't exactly a secret. I think Daggerwin's just bored of the game and trying to make it fun for himself. This is the way I make the game fun for myself. Is I make up ridiculous rules and challenges and things like that. He apparently wants to try and make the game fun for himself by using stupid huge equipment. And that's perfectly fine in my books. If that's what he's enjoying, then go for it. Bet you guys thought I complained about him being unrealistic considering the whole realism is key thing. No, look, number one thing that everybody on YouTube should be doing is finding how to make the game fun for themselves. Especially with the amount that we're kind of playing the game. And ask anybody who makes videos to the scale of myself, Landy, Daggerwin, I guess Simulate to an extent, VF. We're all trying different things to make the game fun. And for me, that's just doing crazy stuff in this way. For Dagon, it's doing crazy stuff in the exact opposite extreme. Alright, Dizzy. You bored of it? You don't have to play it every single day. Yeah. Think of what happens when I guess 1,000 people for live streams. It's ridiculous. He wouldn't be a patch on you. Honestly, I was watching his stream the other day. The last stream that he did. I really enjoyed it. I was sat there just chilling out. I was lurking, but I was... yeah, that was really enjoyable. I think he should learn from the live streams and bring that persona more into his videos and just chill out in his videos more, because I feel like the problem he has is that he's overly professional. What if you collect gold nuggets? You can do that if you want. So our math says tomorrow you should probably study. Yes, Dan, you should probably study. We're forced to play. We're not, like, nobody's holding a gun to our heads and forcing us to play it. I mean, we play it because, rather cynically, it's what makes money on our channels. You know, that's how we can, definitely in terms of me and Landy, get an income. You know, if we don't play Farm Sim, we don't get many views, and while it's not exactly forcing it, it's kind of encouragement to play Farm Sim. Hello, Aaron. Speaking of income, I've forgotten to do this so far. I am a bad YouTuber. How long will I be streaming for? I'll be streaming until about 7 PM Irish time. It's currently 6:03 PM Irish time, and I've only just played the first ads of the stream. I'm wondering why my money's been going down on YouTube, and then I realised, hey, I've not been playing ads. But, even then the money's down. Like hilarious amounts. You study at 7. Honestly, Dan, you should study now. This is, like, this is entertainment. It's not important. Your studying is more important. Can I not set them to auto? No! No, I can't. Not in a stream. No. I wish you could. It's something that I've been calling for since they released since I've been able to stream and since I started streaming. But no, you can't set the ads to auto because that would be too easy for YouTube. Remind you, yeah, ads are completely random. When I press the ad button, or VF presses the ad button, or Landy Kid presses the ad button, or Daggerwin, I don't know if he plays ads during a stream, but if he presses it, or if Simulate presses it, or if anybody in YouTube presses it during a live stream, a dice gets rolled. And that dice, if it lands on a 6, you get an ad. If it doesn't, you don't get an ad. So that's basically the way that it works. You have a farm to fall back on if worst comes to worst. Yeah, but you'd still realistically need an agri education to do farming properly in this day and age. So don't just give up on school because you've got a farm to fall back on. When Sims next stream? I have no idea. Welcome back, Farming Man. Sim's still stuck in Plymouth. He said he's gonna ring the guys that are fixing his car tomorrow, because today's a bank holiday. He said he's gonna ring those guys tomorrow and see what the story is. So hopefully there'll be an update like Wednesday or Thursday on that. But he does want to get back into streaming. He's actually... I was talking to him last night. He's really annoyed that he can't stream. But when Sim does start streaming again, I should say this. When Sim starts streaming again, I'm going to stop streaming on Mondays again. Can he not get a train home? I mean, he could, but then he'd have to get a train back to Plymouth. Because that's where his car's being repaired. It's easier for him to stay in Plymouth and have a hire car to get to work. Which, by the way, is what he's doing. For farming, you need an official certificate to work as a farmer and get government benefits. In... I've forgotten where you live, Yanis, and I feel bad for that. Where you live, yes. In Ireland, no, you actually don't. Any idiot can be a farmer, and I've dealt with some. I've dealt with many farmers, because I used to work in an agri-industry. I've dealt with a lot of farmers that were really well educated, really top-notch guys who knew exactly what was going on, and some who just had no idea what they were trying to do, and no idea what was going on, and had to basically be threatened. You need a green cert or something like that. Oh, do you? By threatened, by the way, I mean like reminded gently that the test that we were doing in the lab I was working at, yeah, that actually does impact your grants. If you don't get the testing done, you lose your grants. So you need to do this. You learn a lot from your dad. You better be doing ag science as well, Dan. Like, 100% seriously, you better be doing ag science if you are planning on working on the farm. And you're very well off going to do an ag course at an ag college as well after 6th year. I know that it sounds silly, but trust me, that's the way farming is going, is maximum efficiency, and you're going to have to learn about that. Just using the traditional ways won't work in 10 years' time. Hello, Delay20. Great stream, thank you very much. You can only do X science for 3rd year, you're in 2nd. Oh yeah, I'm just saying that's something you need to do if you're planning on the farm being a backup plan. You need to learn farming, and not from your dad. You need to learn basically the scientific method, as strange as it sounds. Like, alright, I'll talk about this because it's relevant. It's relevant to farming. The lab that I worked in was an agricultural based lab. And I was working in basically the veterinary section of it, doing BVD tests on cattle ear notches. But also in the same room that I was in, there was soil samples coming in to be tested. To see what the nutrient values were like and stuff like that. And there was grass samples coming in to see if they were ready for silage. To see if the nutrient values were good in the grass, to be made into good quality silage. And you apparently you can estimate based on nutrient values how long until the grass has the correct nutrient values and sugar values and stuff like that. There was also silage testing to see how good the silage actually was once it was fermented. And oh my god, when the silage samples came in, the room smelled like silage for a day. I hated it. It smelled like molasses. You're hoping to do contracting? You'll still need to learn that kind of stuff. Working part of the business side. I mean, that's, you know, half the battle. Once you know the working in the business side, then you're kind of after. What's this song? Get It Girl by GLD. It is atrocious, isn't it? It's just a man shouting Get It Girl in my ear holes. No, I will not get it, girl. Let's move on to the next song. That was atrocious. Why do you need to go to college to be a contractor? Simply put, farming is slowly but surely changing from being a traditionalistic, this is the way things are done on this farm, this is the way they've always been done, this is the way they get done. It's moving from that to, well, I've always done it this way, but if I do this other way that I've looked up the research on and I've looked up data on, this is gonna give me a 15% increase in yields and therefore in profits. You know, farming's moving towards that side of things where it's maximizing profits. And I don't know, do contractors give like advice on crops and stuff? But if you want to be a contractor, yeah, you're best off taking a business course so that number one, you can learn what your time's worth. Number two, you can learn how to maximize profits. Again, it's all about maximizing profits in this day and age. You can't just jump in and do things the way your dad does it because that's the way that it's done. It's not the way that it's done anymore. Farming is no longer an art. It's a science. Very much so. And as much as it pains the older generation of farmers, and a couple people's loans, you know what your time's worth? You probably don't. You're probably undercharging for your time. You've always wanted to do dairy farming instead of beef. Although you live, dairy is near impossible to successfully. Where I am farming, man, dairy is, I think, the most profitable farm there is. Although beef is going to quickly take over, especially if France starts really upping the ante with the way they're seeing Irish beef. I don't know if you guys know this, but Irish beef is seen as a gourmet delicacy in France. It's some of the best beef in the world, according to the French, who know a thing or two about food. They invented it. $9.90 is the average hours. You get 22, 25 euro an hour. I mean, that's not terrible. Milk price is going through the floor because It's basically been opened up big time. So I can imagine beef farming is going to be a big thing in the future. As for what's going good, Kira? We're talking farming. We're talking in real life farming today, for some reason. Even though it annoys Blash. Who may or may not be here. He might have left when I started talking in real life farming. He said it makes him cringe. Blash, if you're here, I'm sorry. I can talk about the science behind certain things, but yeah, I'm not very good at the farming side of things. Because I was with my walls, you don't see about a dairy farmer. You will soon. Very soon. Dairy prices have gone through the floor. Blash can be quite a fiery guy, yeah. Your little land is a major problem in farming. You got a lot of land owned, but little of it can be farmed. Mountainous regions never flat enough. If I were you then, farming man, I'd probably get a mountain sheep herd going. You wish I could be your science teacher. I would be a terrible teacher. I just assume everybody knows everything. Plus 90% of science I'm not really interested in. I just like laser focus on microbiology for the most part. Because that is where all of the interesting stuff is. For me at least. The only downside of microbiology is bacteria smell atrociously bad. There's no money in sheep, and they're very stressful. Mountain sheep herds can basically just be left on their own. Obviously you gotta take precautions against fox, but there's plenty of, around me, a lot of mountains, a lot of mountain sheep herds. Just to maximize the land that farmers own. Thinking of making a forestry business, and then I'm gonna be 5-10 minutes from sawmill. You got a lot of good trees to use for money. I don't think there's much money in forestry at a small scale. You'd need to be like super huge scale forestry to make much money out of it. Sheep catch every disease going. Ah, yeah, that's a downside to sheep then. If they roll over, they get. Oh my god. How did sheep survive? Like, before they were domesticated, how on earth did sheep survive? Dad's getting back into dairy farming. They're after protein, butterfat. Jerseys have higher percentage of protein, butterfat, and you're getting that. Very nice. I know. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Limousine cows are better for, like beef. They're not the best, but they're better for beef than for dairy. Obviously, you've got the tried and tested Frisians for dairy. Traditionally, at least. Right, that's all the rolling done. That's it. That's all the rolling done, I believe. Let's just double check the map real quick. Yes, rolling is now done on our 3 grass fields, which means we can bring the 240. There's the Profi hopper, by the way. It's sat over there. I'm gonna bring that into the sheep meadow and give them the grass from the meadow. Because unfortunately sheep don't eat the grass in the meadow for some reason in Farm Sim. So while that's a bit cheaty doing that, it's kind of forcing realism to happen where they're eating the meadow grass. Now obviously because I'm using seasons, I can't have a stockpile of grass. Fish farming is where it's at. Fish farming is probably like ridiculously good money. So, we need to bring this back down to the yard. So we're going to be trundling around. Yeah, the Belgians are... They're the ones that are just bodybuilder cattle, aren't they? Belgian Blues. Goats are easy to take care of, resistant to disease, and goat's milk is delicious. Or goat's cheese is delicious. I've never had goat's milk. You've always wanted to try out crab fishing if you wouldn't die trying. It's mainly like the Bering Sea that's ridiculously dangerous. Go away, moth. I don't like you. I've a phobia of you. Go away. No, don't come near me. Do not come near me. Go away. Go die. Go die in a fire. Go away. Go away. Using my phone as a weapon. Come on, land somewhere so I can kill you. No, don't just land there for a split second. You know what's coming, don't you? Come on. Oh, of course you land up there where I can't get you with the phone. It's gone inside one of my speakers. Oh, no. This is bigger. The arms race has begun, moth. Did I see your message? Yes. And yes, Glencar. Seriously. It's a legitimate phobia. There is no good reason behind it. It's even a tiny moth. It's when the big ones start coming in, I legitimately have left the room before. Because there was a moth. Beetles I'm also not very happy with. Because they look too similar to moths. My room during the summer is just the moth graveyard. It's kind of hilarious. From what you've been told, it's much better. Yeah, goat's milk is, if I remember right, less fat, more protein. So it's a generally better milk to drink. Goat's cheese, much the same. Also, goat's cheese is just delicious. Like, I know a lot of people are kind of grossed out by the fact that it's not from a cow, but I don't see the reason for that. I saw the message first time, Fiona, don't worry. Hello, Tom. How are you doing today? If you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button. And don't forget to scrub Scriberino. If anybody wants to try and spell that, feel free. I have no idea what kind of word I just actually said. I really probably should have a second plow, but the money factor is there. I can't get one. Like, I need to pay off the loan, and that's 300,000. I can't do that yet. Subscribe Arido. I'm pretty sure I said Areno, but okay. Doing great, how are you? I'm doing good. What tractors have we got? Massey Ferguson 135, a Massey Ferguson 240, and an International 488, is it? I've forgotten off the top of my head. 844. I knew it was 4 and 8 somewhere. Line B are giving bad prices, but the area a bit more pure. fair enough. I'm kind of glad I don't need to keep track of who gives good milk prices, I'll be honest. Please look at your message. I did, Fiona, twice. Don't worry. I just didn't read it out. Don't worry. Just because I don't read your message out loud doesn't mean I haven't seen it. Real old school thing. Yeah, it's potentially impossibly small for this map, especially with seasons. But the aim is difficulty, and I think I've kind of nailed the difficulty element of it. Primary mainly is checking prices and weather. Yeah. Whoa. YouTube mainly is looking at numbers, which is boring. So I don't do it much. I look at like how random videos perform if I have some sort of interest in what the video does. Like this morning's video I've been keeping track of. Yesterday's video, I don't particularly care how that does. The weekend videos I don't normally do, so I'm fine with them being a bit underperforming compared to everything else. What's the combine then? There it is. It's a bison. Is it the bison or is it like some other weird brand? I think it's the bison. It is a bison. It's the one from the Platinum DLC. Factorio is incredibly addictive. Oh my god. It's impossible to just play for 5 minutes. Although I do need to play for like a few hours at some point. And get my base upgraded to deal with new threats. So it's off to the... that's... the wrong way. Off to the cows now, because they need to be fed. And then we're off to the pigs to feed them. We're going at the incredible speed of 19 or 20 kilometers an hour now. We've upped our speed game significantly. I should stream Factorio on Twitch. The issue with that is, like, I can't find time to stream. Because usually when I'm playing Factorio, I'm rendering at the same time and uploading. Well, I've got enough money, I could buy pretty much anything, yes. There's a quicker way to the cow yard. Is there? Is it the way I was going to go? Because this is the way I'm going now. I've locked myself into this route. It is the way that I was going to go, isn't it? Because I've just realised, yeah, that was a dumb idea to turn around. That was a really dumb idea to turn around. But we're going this way now, so deal with it. Then cut across the grass field too. No, I'm not cutting across fields, Sin. I'm going to use the roads as much as I can. If there's a field that I own that I can cut across, then yeah, but I'm not cutting across fields for the sake of cutting across fields. Ah, that's why it tasted like burning. I've run out of juice in my e-cig. So the coil was effectively burning itself. Here we go. Brilliant content right there as I filled my e-cig. You like cutting across fields? So do I, but I'm going to try and be a bit more realistic in that sense with this this challenge and go away and try and stay on the roads as much as I can, unless I own a field. Yeah, I've damaged the coil now. Oh, I've really damaged the coil. It was shocked to see you in nowhere before. What? Exclamation mark insanity. Yeah, I need to change the font back to something normal. Wouldn't see that on any other stream. That's what I get for using the same font as the title. Or the thumbnail. It's not a good font for showing exclamation marks. So we're almost up with the cows. Oh, and Massey's stream. Ah, okay. I woke up and saw that he was... Well, I saw the link he put into the Discord and I figured I'd check it out and didn't realize he was streaming, so I figured I'd say hi. Just chill out there for a bit. Dave, the man who will cut off a sentence to yell at a moth. Yes, that is me in a nutshell. I will cut off sentences to yell at random things. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the cows just one... Hopefully this will do. Just the one thing of food right now. And hopefully that'll be enough for them. Because this is going to be like 2,000 liters worth. I might give them... I don't know how much they'll take. Like, it's 10 cows. They can't take that much. By the way, I've got the universal attacher on this, so if and when I get a tractor with a front loader, I will be able to also use the bag fork on that. And that's just a convenience thing I've done. Come on. Oh, screw it, it's attached enough. The moth is behind my head. I am in no way surprised by this. I think it's actually landed on my head. But it's so small it might not even show up on the stream. So how is this affecting the cows? Literally a dent. That's doing nothing for straw or grass. Okay, so that's just hay silage mixed ration then. Love how the doors on the west coast sound like a gunshot. So we'll give them, I guess, 2 bags of food, even though I don't really want to. I feel like this is maybe a bit excessive, but 2 bags will have to do. You see the moth on my headphones. It's not on my headphones. Stop trying to troll me. 2 bags will have to do. I can't give them any more than that. That should hopefully see them good for a few days. Like once we get to late summer, we'll have late summer, early autumn. We'll have hay and silage already made. What's the fastest way to the pigs from here? Is it across the top? It's across the top of the map. You don't see the moth. I don't either, which is slightly concerning. It's only a tiny little yolk, so. best invest in a new loader. Can't. This is locked in until I paid off the loan. Oh no, I've got the Goyle. Never mind. I was going to say one thing I've forgotten is a feed mixer. No, I've got the Goyle feed mixer. Which will see me through for a while, probably. Because I'd be making TMR the same way in pretty much any mixer up until now. You shall name the moth, mister. Could you go away? How's the challenge going so far? Better than I expected. We've got the grass fields rolled out, all three of them. Field 6, 30 and 81. We've got the 135 ploughing still, which is slightly concerning. And we're currently dealing with the animals. What I'm going to do once I get the animals dealt with, and I will have to bring this back to the yard first, because I'm not abandoning anything in the other yards. You know, I've got to bring everything back to the main yard. That's the only yard I'm allowing myself to use under the nominated yard for all equipment and keep it there rule. The main yard's probably the best for that anyway. What I'm going to do after that is I'm actually going to get the 844 out with the cultivator and just kind of follow the 135 around cultivating. I'll go within like the headland area, or the area the 135 is already done. And we'll cultivate that up. Welcome back, Addy Boo. Or do I want to fertilize? Like I could fertilize. There is rain inbound, so that's actually not even an inconvenience. That's just a thing that's going to happen. It's not going to impact on ploughing, not going to impact on cultivation, not going to impact on anything we're doing at the moment, so we will be fine for that. Up to Little Wool Hope we go. This isn't the pig farm, Dave! That's not the pig farm. Pig farm is further down the road, is it not? That was the sell point I was trying to get to. Pig farm is the other direction entirely. Pig farm is this way. Yeah, it's past Little Wool Hope. Just outside of the other end. Did Dave get lost? A bit, yes. I need to change the coil on my EC because that is disgusting. That is not fun. I'm annoyed that I damaged it. As far as I'm aware, there's no way of like fixing a burnt coil. So again, we're gonna give the pigs like 1 or 2 bags of food, and they'll be good. We're also then gonna we're gonna grab the 844 and give the animals water because they do need water, and that is something I can definitely give them that will keep them alive. It might even keep the sheep alive. I'm not sure, but it'll up the production of the cows and pigs slightly. So they'll make a bit more slurry. They're not going to produce manure until they get straw, and that won't be until basically the autumn once we start harvesting. So no straw until autumn. This weekend is 1,000 kilometers of Paul Ricard Blancpain race. I'm not too interested in Paul Ricard as a circuit. I think it's boring. I think it's a really boring circuit. Because it's literally all runoff. I think it's great the Formula 1's going back there. Is it next year? From the point of view of having a French Grand Prix, but as a circuit it's dull. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. There's no challenge to it. You know, it is not even glorified. It is literally a test track. The official name of the circuit is the high-tech test track. I think it's kind of stupid that Formula 1 are going to a test track for a race. I'd prefer to see Magny-Cours or something like that host the race. You have a moth on your arm, want it? No. You can keep it. Thank you very much. So this is the Peak Garden. You can see that I have cheated a bit and used an autoloader. Just for setup purposes, to stack all these, to bring all these up. Or these ones. The cow ones were actually brought up manually, which was a really dumb idea. I realized after I'd done that I could just use an autoloader to bring the rest of the food around. So, oh my god, we only need to use the one bag. Because that's gonna, like, half fill the pigs. That's fantastic. That is beautiful news. Right, it's off. Back to the yard we go. A lot more driving again, unfortunately. And then, yeah, I think the best bet would be to get the 844 out and get water to the animals, because that'll definitely give them a better chance at living and not being dead. So we're definitely kind of on the right track right now. We've got the cows fed, we've got the pigs fed. The sheep we can't feed until probably late spring. Well, maybe mid-spring actually. But with 6-day seasons, it's going to be a day or two before that in-game. Just realised there's 2 in-game days to do pretty much all the ploughing and cultivating. 3 fields in 2 days. That's... Even the seeding. That's going to be interesting to see if that's possible. And the fertilising! Oh my god, yeah, this is going to be... It's a lot more difficult than I originally thought. I need the time to be on 1x. I actually need to be on maybe 0.5x to get all this done. Especially with the work hour limitations I got in place. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be super tight. Hello, Adam. How you doing today? Ben Crampton, hello. I don't know if we can do this. I don't know if we're gonna get all the fields done. Maybe not in early spring anyway. But we need to get them done ASAP. I should maybe have got a second plow. Why didn't I just go for 9-day seasons? Because 6 days is more challenging. 3 days would be too fast. 6-day I feel is about the right mix of things for YouTube and for making it challenging. 9 days I'd be able to get everything done easy. 6 days, suddenly I've got to have things working constantly. What are the rules? Exclamation mark insanity in chat, because I don't have a command on my stream deck for it. What time is it in game? 11:20 AM. So we've got what? 7.5 hours left of working time in the day. And we've still not got even the first field plowed. $53 likes, awesome. Let's keep that going. Oh, was the last person to do super? Oh, yes! Yes, it was the last person to do super chat. I thought that was some really bad joke. I thought that was the lead up to a terrible joke that I'd hate. This is slow. This is very slow. It's 20 kilometers an hour. This is max speed, though. Thought it was about some Irish food. No, we don't have chicken on biscuits. Well, I guess chicken puree, but no. Hello, Slants Plays. Insanity Challenge, for those of you who don't know what it is already, is the most difficult set of rules I could think of for Farm Sim. This is the most difficult I can make the game. I don't know how playable this challenge is. I don't know... I was going to say I don't know how easy it is. I know it's not easy. When I've got concerns about playability, I know it's not easy. I don't know how quickly things will move. Has Landy been here? No. Landy, if he is streaming, will probably not be in here at all. I think it might be a bank holiday in Canada today. Or public holiday or whatever for Memorial Day, so I don't know if he will come in or if he will stream. It's... oh my god. It's entirely, like, up to him what he decides to do. We're almost back at the yard. We're coming through the town already. We're making good time. I wasn't using the throttle fully. I wasn't actually at full throttle. I'm just going to rest my foot on the throttle pedal because... I mean, max speed is max speed. This challenge can fail in a week. I can't fail it in the first year. I've left the fail conditions out of the first year because, you know, you got no way of making money in the first year. Short of doing forestry, which isn't allowed. Which is actually why I banned forestry. Because forestry, it's too easy to make a lot of money with forestry. Like you get the little wood chipper, you start cutting down trees, and suddenly you've got wood chips for days, you sell it all off, you got money for days. There's no challenge there. What time is it in game? 11:24 in the morning. Any news on Matt's DLC coming to console? None that I'm aware of, Adam. Although I've not been checking Giant's Discord as much as I maybe should. I've not heard anything from Matt himself, so... How long do I think it'll take to complete a year? 8 hours a day, 2 hours per stream. So that's 4 streams per day in game, give or take. 8 streams per season. Probably like 20-ish streams for a year. Third-party DLC is not allowed on consoles. That seems to be the case. Hello, Lone Wolf. I've taken the small equipment idea from the server and made it a bit extreme, and I think I might have overdone it. Because I've been following, even though I don't go on it myself, I've been following the way you guys run the server, and yeah, taking it to the next level by doing all this with just 3 tractors. One of which is a 135, which is currently ploughing. At 10Ks, so that's as fast as it's going to go. Next job is more driving, annoyingly, or unfortunately. This can go back into the loader shed. And I've just realised that I might, well, have written the rules badly, and I might actually have to store the bales up here. That would be annoying. That would be really annoying. So we'll be going slightly faster now, at 30 kilometers an hour, with the water trailer, because we need to water the animals. Late to the stream again, as always, Lone Wolf. Right, here we go. I saw the pictures of your map, by the way. That looks stunning. Alright, let's go off this way this time. This way is going to bring me on a really bad roundabout journey. That was... Yeah, let's turn around. That's just going to take a lot longer than it should. Also, just realized all the tractors I have are actually 2-wheel drive. Just going to water my cows. And the sheep. And the pigs. Let me know if Lanny's gone live, by the way. Because I will end the stream if he has. And we'll just pick straight up from this tomorrow. But this is the last of the kind of admin work done. This is the last bit of admin work around the farm that isn't field work. This is a 135. No, this is an international, or an IHC 844. The 135 is currently over in field 14 doing some ploughing. And I don't know how well it's going, because I can't tab over to it. So I said in the video today that the reason I chose this trailer, and I'll kind of explain it again here, just so that it's in the actual series itself. The reason that I am using this trailer as opposed to the teeny tiny one I've been using on Sandy Bay is basically the challenge is hard enough without having to use the tiny water trailer. Sandy Bay I'm using the tiny one because it kind of increases the amount of stuff that I need to do. But with seasons on this map, the small trailer would detract hugely from the amount of field work I could do. So it's a lot easier to get the 7300 litre trailer on the go and move this around with the equipment I have than the small one, even though this trailer looks a bit ridiculous on the back of a tractor. We are just 41 subscribers away from the magical 8,000 barrier. Wolf Farm Oak Bay. You should just call it Oak. Really confuse people. What was I going to say? If you have not yet done so and you're enjoying the stream, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you do subscribe, feel free to hit that. Well, I would encourage you to hit the notification bell, even though YouTube's a bit crap at sending out the notifications. And if you're really enjoying yourself and you want to give me some sort of financial support, you can sponsor the stream, sponsor the channel, and or support the channel on the Instagram, on Patreon. Where's the water trigger? I know there's a water trigger around here and I can't remember. It's in the other side of the yard. It's in the other half of the cow yard. It's over here, isn't it? Little water trigger of awesome. Should be like right over. Yes. F to the D oak. The Oak Frontier. That'd actually be kind of a cool name for a map. But it'd have to be like an American map, so maybe not. Dang it! I thought I could do that and I couldn't. Get out this little drivey hole. What is this insanity? This is my new challenge, Pedro. You should try it, you'll love it. It's possibly impossible. Am I still going at 1x? Just to kind of verify? Yes. Because I know it's a kind of a habit of mine to just crack it up to 3 or 8x when I'm just walking around. Is this the right way? Yeah, that'll do. Can you use the Zerion? I mean, you can, but part of the challenge is using the smallest equipment for field work, so what unrealism are you going to see tonight? Possibly your ban if you keep talking like that, so I mean, play with fire if you want. Right, off to the pigs we go. This is a setup for a failure. Yeah, definitely. Pedro getting his hammer in just because he can. I'm fine with that, honestly. Yeah, Pedro around, there's no nonsense. I ain't a realism channel. If you want realism, go somewhere else. I'm a guy who plays Farm Sim for fun and does it on YouTube. If you want realism, start your own damn channel. Watch Daggerman or somebody, I don't know. Complain to them, not me. Play Farm Sim the way I find it fun. This is insane, but it should be fun. Oh no, the glitch has happened again. Sometimes when you're using a wheel, I don't know why, but sometimes when you're using a wheel, the keyboard suddenly starts being recognized as a wheel and locks the steering. The Pedro timeout's now a ban. Pedro will time people out sometimes, but it is usually a ban, yes. MP, you play all your saves, MP games, small kit for a long time. Yeah, this is going to be a super long time with this kit. You do sometimes, Pedro, be fair. I mean, it's rare, but you do. Is this the right way? Have I gone the wrong way? I've gone the wrong way again. Hey, this thing's got a turning circle so good that I just spun around on the trailer's axis. We'll smoke it, add stuff. Yeah, I mean, granted, having a 135 on the plow is maybe a bit too small. Why is it Insanity Challenge? Have you seen the equipment I'm using, Gareth? I'm not allowed to swap it out until I've made at least 300,000 and paid off the loan that I've got. And once we get through autumn, there's a rule that'll take effect where if I go negative in money, that's game over. If I go negative in money and I don't have crops or something to pay off that money, that's it. That's game over. Finito. Done. I have lost. Land is live now? Well, in that case, let's pull in over here. And we'll end up the stream here. Tomorrow we'll be on Sandy Bay for the Sandy Bay Challenge. You've only just joined. What I'll do is I'll enable tabbing and I'll tab around what's currently working. So we've got the 844 here. That's pulling water tanker around. We've got a load all because I needed something with the front loader and I figured the load all would be okay. We've got a Profi hopper for feeding sheep. We've got a Massey 240 which has been out in the fields already doing some rolling. We finished that earlier on this stream. We've got a Bison, that's our harvester. I need to bring the corn header up here at some point. And in the field here, in field 14, that's done a surprisingly good job actually. We have a Massey Ferguson 135 on the plough, which is just a 3-furrow fixed plough. And I'm kind of surprised at how well it's done. But that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching the Farm Sim 17 Insanity Challenge on the West Coast. Why am I not on the plough? Because I got other work to do and this has been going for the entire stream. Until next time, which will be, what, Wednesday, I think? Stay safe. And goodbye.